Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to shorter attention, what I was doing and things like that. Hopefully it helps you out. You know, hopefully.
Oh, hi there, boys and girls. I'm Uncle Mason, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Storytime with Uncle Mason. So, we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipe. I'm going to go ahead and start with just some Honor 22 news here. So, as always, with Honor 22, we have some merchandise for sale. We have t-shirts, bracelets, these little guys, and bumper stickers. Now, every penny of that you purchase goes back into not only our program, but it goes back into helping our veterans, first responders, active duty military, and anybody in San Antonio who supports them stay active and fit. So that we can keep the doors open and the lights on. Next exciting news is my buddy Logan Combs over with Veterans and I RL. He has some t-shirts that he's got coming out. They look really good. They're going to look really sexy on you. And a small portion of that is going to come back in Honor 22, so I want to go ahead and give him a shout out for that. Thanks, buddy. I do appreciate the support. If you haven't done so already, check out his channel, Veterans IRL. He talks about a lot of great things, talks about life, talks about veterans, how they are in person. He interviews veterans. Like, he's doing a lot of great stuff out there, and I really do enjoy working with him. And then finally, check out my buddies over at Live to Lift, Adam and Johnny. Big old boys, if you guys are looking for fitness training, if you guys are looking to be swole AF, those are the guys to check out. We've got some exciting stuff coming down the pipe with them, so stay tuned because sometime here in the near future, we're going to be doing some really exciting fitness stuff with them. Now, of course, Storytime with Uncle Mason would not be complete without talking a little bit about the PTSD Foundation of America here in San Antonio and talking about some of the things we've got going on. So, if you are a veteran, first responder, or a family member of one of the two above, and you've got something going on, if you need someone to talk to, if you need some sort of support group, we've got you going. We actually have 4 different support groups going on throughout the city of San Antonio to kind of help you guys out, so that way you don't have to drive, X amount of miles to get here. So, of course, 6:30 on Tuesdays at the Warriors. We're having a Warrior group at the Warm Springs Medical Center. That's the group I run. That's every Tuesday at 6:30. Every Wednesday at 6:30, we have a family support group that we run at the Grange Hall out in Cibolo. And then every Thursday at 6:30, we have a Warrior support group that we run here at the PTSD Foundation of America in San Antonio. And we also have another Warrior support group that we run at 6:30 out at the Grange Hall in Cibolo. So, I've said it before, I will say it again. If you guys are going through something, if you need help with anything, the absolute best thing that you can do is reach out. If you hold it in, if you try to stick with your pride, I'm telling you right now, it's just going to keep hurting you. So yeah, that's all the local news there. So let's go ahead and get started with our story time. All right, boys and girls, so enough about the news. Let's get back to why we're all here, our story time lesson. So last time when we were here, we got caught up with where I left off with back in October. So now, everything I'm about to speak is brand new. So, no more recapping. This is all for you, all new stuff. And we're going to start today with signs that your mourning is working. Of course, in Chapter 5, we were talking about grief. We were talking about the grief cycle, some of the things you would expect from other people, things like that. So now, the last little bit of that is talking about signs that your mourning is working. And so, there's a quote in the book, page 76, it says, "As the magnitude of trauma and its effects sink in, a person in crisis asks a lot of why questions. Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? Why now? Why did I do that? Why did she do that? Why did God let this happen? Why won't this pain quit? Why must I suffer so deeply?" So all of these questions are normal and typically are expected. No one faults you for having these questions. So the first question I've written down here is, for you folks at home keeping track of this story and keeping track in your own book, what were or are some of the why questions you've asked? Now, as universal as they are, as universal as all these why questions are, even if they make you feel better, the frustration of the why question is that most of them will never be answered this side of heaven. And the reason for that is because a lot of these why questions, we're never going to get a straight answer for it. We have to basically look inside ourselves for why we ask these questions. And so whenever you want to know if the signs that your mourning is working is whenever you start, instead of asking yourself why questions, you start to ask your how questions. Now, the how questions are the important part because those are the questions that you can use to actually build a future. You know, these are the questions such as how can I build new dreams? How can I move on? How can I deal with my pain and loss? How can I get back into the swing of things? And how can I learn things that from what I've experienced? These are all great questions that you can answer because you can set up achievable goals. You can say, hey, you know, how can I become, you know, a fitness athlete? Well, you go to the gym. You know, you set up a workout plan, you set up a diet, you go to the gym, you work out. How can I become a millionaire? Well, you set up a savings plan, a birth plan, you know, whatever the case may be. You start a business, shit like that. You know, asking yourself how questions is important when it comes to your own mourning because now instead of sitting here, why did this happen? Why can this happen? You constantly frustrate yourself and never be able to answer it. Now you start asking the how questions, you can move on from there. So the second question here is how can you change some of those why questions into how questions? And some of that takes time. Some of it is whenever you ask these why questions, you know, like why did this happen to me? You can think back to what happened and then you can start thinking, well, how did this happen to me and how can I be a better person? And then finally, what are some of the other how questions you should be asking? Things like, you know, how can I lead a better life? How can I be a much more successful person? How can I be a good father? How can I be a good wife? You know, shit like that. These are all questions that you should be asking. Now, not to toot my own horn, but whenever I've gone through my own life and things happen, you know, life happens. You get stressed out, some bad shit happens to you. Bad shit happens to good people. I went from asking these why questions and then bugging myself out about it. You know, why did my ex-fiance leave? You know, why did, you know, this bad shit happen overseas? You know, why did all this shit happen? I went from asking those questions to how can I be a better person? How can I move on with my life? How can I help my fellow veteran? How can I help just normal people that are looking for help? You know, how can I be that guy? And one of the things that I answered with that was that I can help other people by filling my own cup, by leading a fulfilling life, by enjoying the things I used to enjoy doing again, by putting myself out there, by making myself vulnerable, and by making myself open and honest. I can help other people with their own lives. And so that's why I do a lot of what I do here. So that is the end for chapter 5. And of course, chapter 5 is talking about grief, you know, the grief cycle, what normal grief is, how to grieve, how not to grieve, things like that. So I'm going to end this video with a short prayer from the book, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some push-ups. So, Father, sometimes my grief is so burdensome, I think that it's going to crush me to the ground. I want to be rid of it. It's like my worst enemy, but I need you to help me make it my friend. Help me to embrace this part of my healing balm from you. Don't let me run from it or try to take shortcuts. Help me to face it head on, but I cannot go there if you won't come with me. Please enter into my pain with me, walk with me through it. Take me out the other side, whole, wiser, stronger, and more like Jesus. Amen. So yeah, that's it for chapter 5, folks. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about chapter 6, you know, with the next video. By the way, so you guys got to double down. The reason that I didn't submit a video last week is because I just got busy. A lot of life shit happened, and I took the weekend off to honestly enjoy time with my girlfriend, man. Like I said, you can't pour from an empty cup, and I had to spend this past weekend filling mine. So with that being said, I am back at it, and I'm going to knock out some pushes for you. Now for the part you've all come here to see, watching me suffer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I might have forgotten to mention that you guys from Live Live smoked my ass this morning. So, with all that being said, folks, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.